Here are examples of how I introduce the seminar, summarize presentations, and transition between speakers, helping create the widely praised Angelbeat experience. So welcome everyone to our Angelbeat Virtual Summit. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. My name is Gerber. I'm the head of Angelbeat. In these coronavirus times, we're focused on the same strategy that's made Angelbeat very successful in the live world, namely delivering meaningful information on all the top issues to help you in your career and to help your organization become more successful. If you look at the agenda I've lined up here, what I've tried to do is basically walk you through how Microsoft, and we've got 8 experts here, will help you embark and accelerate and perhaps partially complete your journey towards digital transformation. As you can see here, the flow of the day is structured very logically. We need to talk about security. We need to talk about security for work from home employees, how that's set up, because that's going to be the new almost main or de facto computing paradigm for employees. We need to understand solutions like AI, ML. What does that mean? We also want to talk about cloud native designs. It's not just migrating existing applications to the cloud. It's how do you go about re-architecting those applications for the cloud from the very beginning. We'll then hear about DevOps and Azure, how Microsoft is helping all of us develop applications. I can tell you, if you're not currently a developer and you're not currently actively involved in software and line of business tools, that's going to obviously change very much in the future. That was happening, of course, with the advent of the cloud, with things like desktops being automatically updated, with things like hyper-converged data centers for your private cloud architectures, so people don't need to worry about racking and stacking switches and integrating networking and compute and virtualization. That's already been happening, and it's only going to happen more. But then we're also going to hear about other solutions, not just DevOps, which is what Microsoft does to help people develop in Azure. What about GitHub? I think this is the most amazing acquisition that Microsoft has made in terms of reflecting its strategy to be very customer-centric as opposed to being very product-centric. What they're doing with GitHub is saying, we're going to put our resources behind the open source community. Who would have thought that just a few years ago, Microsoft would be the largest contributor to the open source kernel? Never would have happened. But that's why they bought GitHub, and we're going to hear from Sasha about that. And then finally, we'll end the day with some great insights on tools that Microsoft offers to help you structure data, to help you analyze it. What I would call, they're not archaic, but traditional databases, traditional data warehouses don't, or at least aren't designed to be optimally configured for a cloud infrastructure where you want to combine or ingest data of all different types, files, object storage, unstructured, structured, video, text, social media data. And how do you make sense of that? You need not just a traditional relational database or a traditional data warehouse. You need the next generation. So I think that's what we're going to cover. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic.
So that's a wrap. If you have any questions, you can ask now or reach out to Ron or reach out to me. So we are happy to help. I would hand over to Ron now.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Vijay. The key takeaways as I was listening to this were twofold. First, you get a sense of the power of the Google Cloud Platform that's reflected in its support for 9 business units that have to service 1 billion users each, from Gmail to Android, etc. So they've got a huge internal demand, and that capabilities of supporting those 9 business units translates into fantastic services available for external customers. So that's one reason why we see a lot of organizations wanting to work with GCP and around Kubernetes with GKE, if I'm throwing my 3-letter acronyms around correctly. Then you've got a separate issue that I see coming up, which again is reflected in Vijay's presentation, the flexibility that Google offers you. This is news to me, their support for Windows. Then you've got Anthos supporting your existing infrastructure on-prem, into the cloud. So we encourage everyone, as you're looking at migrating your applications, as you're looking at embracing the cloud, there's two related issues where VJ and his team can help you out in, which is one, understanding the power of the Google Cloud, and the second is what's the specific best architecture and solution for your applications, knowing that it's not a rip and replace, but a very open and flexible strategy. How's that sound, VJ? Reasonably good summary?
That's great, Ronnie. You already looks like you completed a GKE 101.
Need when you're talking about your overall security, what Teams Work from Home has created is a new computing paradigm architecture. It's somewhat analogous when everyone started using Wi-Fi. There's lots of productivity gains, but it does open up new threat vectors, new vulnerabilities. Microsoft can do a lot, but they can't do everything. There's a shared security responsibility between Microsoft's doing more from securing the platform, the infrastructure, what you as an end user need to secure in terms of your data focus. But for everything else, you need solutions like what Trend Micro offers. Let's now hear from Dave and Chuck.
I do just want to say thank you. And I know Ron usually has a few moments of recap because he just does such a great thing of summarizing what everybody does, usually a lot more saliently, at least than I can. So I want to give him an opportunity to do just that.
And by the way, thanks for that tee up. Now I know when I tee up speakers how they feel a little nervous, but I appreciate that, Greg. The key thing I want to emphasize is, first of all, CloudHealth is a separate business unit. So when you're looking at these impressive tools, even though 90% of you, if not more, already use CloudHealth, or excuse me, already use VMware, this is a completely autonomous business unit. Also keep in mind, but this is why CloudHealth is so effective, because VMware does so much in so many organizations. It does give the entire VMware organization a unique perspective into the cloud, and that expertise is carried over to CloudHealth. It's great to understand technology, but when you're convincing not just the CIO, but the CFO and CEO as to why you should deploy Kubernetes, why you should go to the cloud, CloudHealth is your advocate in generating the reports and the analysis you need to justify your pathway to the cloud and digital transformation. How'd I do, Greg?
You want to come work with us?